Hello, Julie here from Julie's Papercraft. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to start a new journal. I'm making this journal with products I've received from Paper Inspirations in my July design team kit. So I'm going to use this chipboard album from Uniquely Creative. It's 8x6 and it's 8 pages inside. And they're, as I said, they're quite thick, so you can see they're about 1/8 of an inch thick, so very sturdy, very sturdy. So that's what I'm going to be using for my base. Now, I have already cut my base pages, so I've cut each page to fit so that I've still got a little bit of the craft colour showing behind. I've inked around the edges and stitched around each one. And I was tossing up whether to have like the same papers next to each other or whether to, bring in a different colour on opposing pages. But I've decided to go with the same page, same paper to an opening. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to make, this is the offcut from that same paper, and I want to make a flip out pocket here. So I'm going to do that, and to do that I'm going to use my scoreboard, and that way I can attach this here before I attach that, and that will hide that join. So I'm just going to gather up my scoreboard and my bits and pieces, and I'll be right back. I'll just show you this. This is the pad that I've used for my backing papers. It's a Prima, very old. I mean, I don't think this is probably even still around. But there's 48 sheets in there, and yeah, they're really nice neutral backing sheets. So that's what I've used for my backgrounds on each of these pages. Now I'm going to just use this whole bit. This is 12 inches long. I'm going to make my hinge that opens out. I'm going to say make that 3/4 of an inch. So if I then move that to there, what's halfway? So 11 1/4. So that's 5 1/2 and 5 5/8. So there we go there. So that should be halfway between, is it? No. That, so much for that. Well, I think what I'm going to do is just fold that over to there. So it's not actually right. See, it's just sort of up to the edge of that fold line so that it will fold up and sit flat. Okay. Right. Smooth that line out there. You won't really see it when I decorate this pocket. It may well be on the back, I don't know. But anyway. So all I need to do now is ink around the edge of this. I don't need to do that first. No. That's got to go out like that because that's going to go on there. That's going to be attached on there like so. And then that will fold in like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a divot in that. I've got a 2-inch circle punch here, and I'm just going to make sure I've got that nice and level, and then punch both of those at the same time so they're in the same spot. Okay, now ink around. Oh, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew around this. So I'm going to stitch around the top edges of both sides, and then I'm going to stitch around there and up that side. Even though that's a fold, I'm going to still stitch around that. So I'll go and do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have stitched all around it. Going around these parts are a bit tricky. Can't get it nice and even, but then what can you do? And so I've stitched around it and I've inked around it. I've inked along there because you will see a bit of that, because that will be sitting there like so, and the paper doesn't go right up to the edge of it. So I've done that, and I did try to put a little bit of ink on the inside as well, but that's pretty hard. I should have done that before I stitched it up. So now I'm going to attach this centrally on that page like so. So I'm using art glitter glue for this. To make sure that I've got that nice and flush with that. Use a tissue to wipe up any excess glue, although that's going to be covered out in this part. But so that's that attached, and that folds over nicely, and that's pretty well actually pretty good there. Now I can take one of these, make sure I've got it up the right way, and that can go on there like so. Now some of these I've stitched around with navy blue, but I ran out of navy blue, so some of them have got navy blue top and bottom, and some of them have got navy blue on the bottom and black on the top. So we'll see if we can notice the difference when we start using them. Okay, so I'm going to attach this to my page. Take it as close as I can to the edge to make sure that I've got a good attachment to the edges. I don't want them lifting up and coming off. And then put that on there centrally, so I've got about an even border all the way around. Once again, mop up any excess glue. Use my bone folder wherever that's gone. There we go. Just make sure that I've got that nicely attached. Could use a brayer, I guess, if you wanted to, but find that the bone folder does a good job, and it's nice and flat. Okay, so that works perfectly. So now I'm going to attach this one to this side. This cover is slightly bigger, I think, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get it central, get this pattern paper central on the cover. Like so. So that's that fold in. Now over here I want to put a pocket on the side, and I thought that I might use some lace for that. I've never made a fabric pocket before, so I thought it was time I tried it. So I'm going to trim that off so that it's reasonably straight. Put that out the way for now. Put that back on there, otherwise I'll be cursing a bit later on when I want to use it. Now I recently got a whole heap of laces from my mother. She is continuously cleaning out, so when I visited her recently she gave me all of this lace, and I mean, I'm not complaining, it's all lovely. And so that's another good reason for me to use it. So I'm going to stick that on there. So if I just mark where I want to cut that, so about there. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this as well. A lot of people use fabric tack, and you know, that may well be better as well, I don't know. I've got fabric tack, but I have attached fabric with this before, and I find it works quite well, so I'm going to stick with what I know is going to work. Mind you, I don't have any doubts at all that the fabric tack would work fine, but I have to get that out and open it and all that stuff, whereas this one's all set and ready to go. Now, it's got that attached somewhat, but I'm definitely going to have to add more. Got some little clips here. I might use those to attach, hold that in place. Because I certainly don't want to have it come undone. Don't know what the weather's like where you are, but it's still quite cold here in Adelaide, and yeah, I've been out this morning. We went down to the beach. Yeah, why would you go to the beach when it's freezing cold? But we've got a favourite cafe down there that we like to go to, so we went down there this morning and had a coffee, and yeah, it started to rain. We've had plenty of rain this season. Everybody all over the world, I think, is having trouble with their weather. It's all very extreme. So I guess we're going to be extremely hot in the summer. But the cold weather is not kind to my arthritic fingers. So that's got that bit attached. Now I'm just going to put some glue on the lacy bits that are along the edge, and I'll wipe off the excess. It's a bit of a fiddly process, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. Art glitter glue is pretty good as far as gluing, attaching. You know, put a bit of pressure on it for a couple of minutes and it won't budge. So once again, some glue on the outer extremities of this piece and attach that down. So I want it to be reasonably firm. I don't want it to be so loose that anything I pop in the pocket is going to be falling out all the time. If you've used Fabri-Tac for this sort of thing, let me know. When it dries, is it nice and clear? Can you see that it's there or not? I probably should just use some and see for myself, shouldn't I? Alright, so that's I'm just going to let that dry for a while and see how we go with that. I'll put this pin back in my lace. Now I might do a bit of decorating over here. Now I've got some lovely Edith Holden, is it? Oh, no, Cathe Holden. I always get those two mixed up. So I've got some Cathe Holden goodies that I got in my design team pack. So let's have a look what we've got here that we can put on our... I've got some stickers, I've got the sticker sheet as well. And there's lots of goodies in this. Look at those. Probably can't see what I've got down here. Right, so I should take these out and put them in a dish and then I'll have them to fossick through, won't I? Like that. I like that. About if we have in here, I think there's some we could use one of these little floral stickers, couldn't we? Along with that. I might put this bit of cheesecloth that I've just coloured with some, I think I'll go for a little bit of an off cut of that, oh, a different lace, but perhaps that way. And then a flower thing there. If I use a sticker though, I can't put it on top of lace, can I? So, have we got a floral here? So we could put something like that on there, couldn't we? That looks quite nice. Yep, okay. So that's what I'm going to do. My glue. Ink around the edge of this. It's got a little hole in it. I might put a little something on that. Right, I'm just going to grab my crocodile to put a eyelet in that. Okay, so it's only got a small hole, so I'm going to use some of these smaller eyelets, and I've picked out like a old gold one, very fiddly. And then we put that in there. Squeeze. And there we have it. We have a little eyelet on there, and we can put something through that eyelet. I have got this piece of wool that just happens to be sitting on my desk. I'll cut that off and put that through. use my tweezers to do that. Do I want to put a little dangle on that? Yes, I think I will. I'll get one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this little dragonfly charm and I'm going to attach that with a bulb pin. So I'm going to use a gold bulb pin because it's a gold charm. Just thread that through there and then thread that through there. And there we have a little charm on our tag, and we'll stick that there. So I'm going to stick that down flat. Apply a little bit of pressure over where that's attaching to that lace. And that can go on there like so. I have already inked around the edge of this one, so just stick it down. Once again, I'm just going to hold that down a bit over that lace area, and I'm going to call this side of the pocket done. I will do a little bit of embellishing on the other side as well. So when we open that out, we've got something nice on here, and I think I'm going to use some of the stickers on there. Now there's some washi tape type stickers here. So what about if I use, say, this one? Here. That back in there for if I have a little spot for it later on. And I'm going to also add maybe one of these labels. This side on here, and perhaps this flower. Or let's have a look. Have we got something a little bit smaller than that? From these round ones. about that. Just here. Okay. Okay, so I think I want to stamp something in there. Okay, I've got this set of stamps that interlock. There's numbers and letters, and I've assembled one, just random numbers, and I'm going to stamp it using my VersaFine Clair Tulip Red ink. I have got a stamp pad under there to give it a bit of support, and now I'm going to stamp that down there. That one didn't work very well, but I don't think, perhaps if I did it like just a single one. There we go. Okay, so that is okay for that. I'm happy with that. Now I was thinking that in there I might put, I've got this pack of envelopes Allsorts. They're coffee dyed. Some have got pattern on them, some are just plain coffee dyed. I've got this little one here that's got the pattern on it, and I thought I might pop that into that pocket. I'll probably decorate that a little bit too, and might just put a little bit of lace on here. Got that lace there. But I just want to put a little bit of lace on there. Let it stick up a bit. Like so. I could do that. So if I'm going to use that, I want to colour that a bit with my ink, because I don't want it to be bright white. Nothing in here is white, so I'm going to sort of cream that off with this vintage photo. The thing about having white lace is you can basically make it any colour you like. You can use ink like this, or you can put some ink on your mat and spray some water on it, and then run, just rub this through the liquid and then let it dry. That's basically what I did with this cheesecloth. I just used some Victorian velvet, I think it was, and sprayed it. Put it on my table, then sprayed it with some water, and then just mopped it up with that cheesecloth. You can do the same with your lace. So you can make your lace basically any colour you like. Okay, so if I stick that on there, I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to the base of the lace. What's going on here? I have to do it this way because my arthritis in my thumb makes it very sore to squeeze bottles and things, so if I do it with my whole hand it works fine. Okay, so just that on there, and I'm thinking that I might put a a little bit of something across the bottom of that. I'll get to that. And then on the front I could put, I've got some of these uniquely creative, what is it, indigo and violet Velum creative cups. So I might put one of those on the front. And where's my sticker book? Just a little bit of something to add to that. One of, what about this? Just a little something, I think. I have got a little bit more lace here I could use. Different lace it is, but no, I think I'll go for this mauve sticker. Up and down or along the bottom. I might put this up and down, like so, like that. And this is a sticker, and you don't want to hang around and wait for me to find the edge, so I'll do that and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've got that off. I'm going to stick that down there. Okay, and I think I want a little label or something on that. Okay, I found a label. I got it from Sue's Mushroom Kit printable. I printed that out and fussy cut all the items out of it so that I've got them handy when I want them. So I'm just going to ink around the edge of that. And I wanted something to put on top of it, and I keep this little like junk jar on my desk for bits and pieces that are laying about, and this little butterfly was in it, and I thought, well, that's going to go perfectly being mauve and just something small. So I'm going to attach this just there, and then this little butterfly go just there, like so. So there we have a nice coffee stained envelope. Oh, I was going to put something on the back of that, wasn't I? So I need to find some gold, I think gold on there. I've got a few here. So just maybe something small like that, I think. So I was thinking just a little bit of that across there to finish that off would be nice. So let's see if I can cut that off without making too much of a hash of it. Yes, that will look right. So I'll put that there and that there and cut that off. There. Then run a little bead of glue along there and pop that down onto it. Right way and wrong way. That's the right way. So not too much on the back, just a little bit of something. Okay. So if I pop that in there. A bit too soon. Okay, so put that in there. Just let it sit up a little bit. Got our little dangle there. Turn it over. We've got our pocket there. Okay, so now I'm going to take these pins off. Okay, so now that's stuck. Okay. Now I have got the Uniquely Creative Tops and Tails tag kit, and I have cut 2 tags. Well, actually I've cut a whole heap of tags. Here they are here. So I've cut an assortment of tags in creamy colours, and the little ring reinforcers and things that come with it as well. And I'm going to create 2 tags to fit into there, so they will sit in there. Okay, so I've had a bit of a clean up and I've got my tags ready, and I'm going to use this Darkroom door rubber stamp set, and it's called Handwriting. I've cut it up so that I've got some usable side, you know, they don't all fit together. Now I'm going to just ink this up. This is the first time I've used this stamp, and I might just stamp it off onto a piece of scrap paper. See how it's going. I have got a new ink pad, I might need to get that out, but I'm not looking for an all over cover. So there we go, it works fine. It works fine. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to put a texture mark on the back here to say that that's up. Otherwise, I'm bound to get the text upside down. Okay, so let's stamp these. I've got my little mat underneath so that I don't end up with ink all over my desk. Okay, that gives me a bit of a background there. Got my ink pad's falling apart actually, so perhaps it's just as well I have got a new one there. Okay, and I will wipe that down. White to do that with. I know it's not compulsory to wipe your stamps down, but I always do for some reason. I'm not a clean freak, but I do like to have things clean and tidy, and I like to look after my bits and pieces because they will last me a lot longer that way, I guess. Still, there's a lot of people out there that don't clean their stamps, and their stamps still seem to work, so I'm sure that it's just a matter of personal choice. Now I'm going to ink around the edges. Okay. Now I'm going to embellish these a little bit. I don't need that anymore. So I thought I might use some of these on there. Okay, so what about, cut that off. Got these die cuts that I could put on here as well. Maybe something simple like that. A bit taller like that, I think. And like that. I'm not sure about the green there. I think I'll find something else. This one. Like that. Like those. Now, do I want the white? Will the white look odd on this? I actually don't mind the white, to be honest. I actually don't mind the white on there because I think it's a nice contrast. So that's what I'm going to go for. I want to put something else on this. What about a label? Okay, so I've got an assortment of labels here. I think I might go for that. So let's I'm I'm going to try inking this and trying that on one of them just to see whether I prefer the slightly brown colour. Getting ink all over my desk here, but it wipes up, doesn't it? So I hope everyone's having a good day. It's a pretty nice day here in Adelaide, so I'm pretty happy. Now, let's see, so that's what it looks like with the white. Or with the, yeah, I think the white, this sort of fades into the background too much. So I'm going to go with the white. Just wanted to check that out and make sure that I was happy with the way I was going, because I don't know about you, but if something pops into my mind and I don't try it, I'm forever wondering whether I should have went that way. So at least now I know that I'm happy with the white. I think the white will be fine. Just stands out that little bit more. And to be quite honest with you, this paper range is fairly dark, or the embellishments are quite dark. So I think the white would help to lift things in the journal, brighten them up a little bit. I'm going to lift this up from this corner a fraction, just because I don't want everything all lined up in one straight line, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to these leaves. And then flip that over. I'm going to sort of run it down the edge of that terracotta coloured label. Okay, so that's that one. Now I'm going to ink the edges of these. So these particular labels, this one and that one, come from a free printable, and I can never remember the name of the place that I got them from, but I will put a link to them in the description box. I'll put a link in the description box to everything I'm using here. Oh yeah, that's right. Just trying to remember what side's what. It's going to go up that side, up there, and then we've got our curvy leaf. I can't remember whose die this is. It could be uniquely creative. If I can find it, I'll link it below. You can use, like you can die cut with sticky tape or double-sided sticky on the back and just peel it off, or you can also use a sponge to dab your glue onto these fine die cuts as well. I've just bought a new lot of sticky paper, double-sided sticky paper, so that will be what I will do for my next lot of die cuts, because I tend to die cut a heap of things at once. Because while I've got it out and I'm doing it, I do quite a few, and I do them mostly in white, and then I've got the choice of either leaving them white or colouring them when I'm ready to use them. Because you can colour them with lots of things. You can paint them, you can, you know, with your acrylic paints, you can use all different coloured inks, not just distress inks, but you can use all sorts of inks. Now, I thought I might use some of this cotton frizz to put through the things. This one's called Ice Sage, and it's way too wide to go through that, so I plan on cutting it in halves along like the middle. And I'm not going to tie a knot or anything like that. I'm just going to thread it through and probably staple it in place, so I don't need a great deal of it. So if I cut up there, like so, then I can fray some of these out. Something like that. Then if I just pop that through there, fold that up so that it's doubled over, put it on a little bit of an angle, and then use my stapler. Could be any colour staples in this stapler actually. Try and get it in the middle. And staple it in place. Oh, look at that, green, lucky day. Okay, so that's that one, and now fray out a bit of this one. Okay, put that through there. I have got a stamp that I could stamp on the back here to put lines on the back. I prefer, if I'm writing, I prefer lines, but some people don't. So, what do you think? Do you think I should stamp the lines on the back, or do you think it's better off without lines? I guess if someone wants lines, they can always draw them in. So, there's the two tags to go into this section. So they'll just pop in there like so. I'll put that one in there and that one in there. Yes, so there we go. There we have our tags. In there, all set, nice, pretty. That one hanging over the top. Both in there. And we've got our flip out pocket here with our little envelope in it. I haven't put anything in the envelope yet, but eventually I will do that. May put some of the, leftover embellishments or whatever in there. So, I'm going to go and tidy up all this mess, and then I will come back with the next stage. Wondering, should I put something in here, or is that enough? Perhaps just, you think something just like this down here? quite nice, isn't it? I could do something like that. But once again, just peel that off, and I'm going to put it around that way. Oh, that way or that way? That way. So it's not overpowering, but it's just a little something in there. You can write over that. You know, black pen would stand out just fine. Okay. Alright, I'll be back soon. I've decided that this is a bit too plain, so I'm going to use this Darkroom door stamp once again with the text to stamp on there, but I'm going to just try and sort of block that bit off. And I was wondering whether I should do it in the red, but I think there's plenty of red on there already, so I'm going to do it with the vintage photo. And I'm not looking for like a solid all over print. I'm quite happy for a patchy sort of look. So I'm just going to put a bit there, put some there, a bit there, and a bit there. So just a little bit of something in the background there. And then I'm going to add this to it, because that area seemed to be too vacant. And I've got the white on the tags over here, so I thought I might bring in a little bit more white on this side as well. I'm just going to dab little bits of blue on here. Of course my glue's blocked up. Normally I don't have any problem with this. I think it must be because of the cold weather. I know that they don't ship this glue in certain weather conditions, and because it can, well, I think it's in the cold because it can freeze and bust the tubes. So yeah, if you do use it, and I really love this glue, use it for everything, it's something you might want to think about. Here in Australia we don't generally have a problem with that sort of stuff. It generally doesn't get cold enough certainly here in Adelaide, although this year has been a bit of a trial. But I mean, you know, we might get down to 0 overnight, but we never get any snow, or we certainly never get those sorts of temperatures through the day. Having said that, I have got my parker on at the moment, so just something like that, just to lift it a little bit. I thought it was looking a bit dull, to be honest. I was thinking about putting a little gold bow there, but I'm a bit wary about putting extra dimension on here everywhere. Otherwise my book is going to end up... Oh, my bolt pin came off. There you go, back on. Okay, so I think I might call that page done. I think I'm pretty happy with that now. I've got my tags in there. I haven't done anything to the cover, and I'm going to move on to the next page. Now, I haven't decided yet what sort of format I'm going to have, how much writing space I'm going to have in here, that sort of thing, but I'm thinking that I'm going to probably have like at least one page on each open area and left blank, probably just with a flower sticker or something like that on it, just to encourage some writing. And on the other page I'll put a pocket or clip an envelope on or something like that. So I'm going to decide what I want to do on this page and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go with the green colour for the next page, and I'm going to attach these to my book, our journal. So very handy having all of my pages already prepared. Make sure I've got plenty of glue around the edge, and I'm putting them on so that it fits. About an even border all the way around. Once again, I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got that nice and firmly attached to the page. Do the same for this side. I've been out for lunch today. One of my husband's colleagues was having his birthday celebrations, so we were invited to join them, so we've been out and had a lunch. Very pleasant. If I can get that to line up. The page next to it. Okay, now I've cut a piece of the same paper, and it's 8.5 by 3.5, and I've scored it 1/2 inch on 3 edges. I'm going to make a pocket with this, and I'm going to just cut those corners out, so a bit of an angle, so that just reduces the bulk in the corners. And then I'm going to fold those up. You can make your pockets, of course, without these flip ups or fold ins or whatever you like to call them, but I prefer them with the flaps. I think it just gives your pockets a little bit more room. And I'm going to attach that on there. Now, I'm just going to go on there. Before I do that though, I want to stitch around it. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to put a divot in here. I'm just guesstimating the centre. And yeah, so now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around all the edges. Okay, so I've stitched around that, and now I'm going to ink around it. Oh, before I do that, I'm just going to trim those back a little bit too, because I don't want to be able to see them from the top of the pocket. Stitching around that divot is very crooked, very uneven. Okay, so now I'm going to attach glue to these little flaps and then attach my pocket to the page. I'm going along the two edges because I want to make sure that these fold-ins don't interfere with anything that I might put in the pocket. If you just attach it along the outside edge, it can interfere. This inside edge can interfere with whatever you're putting in the pocket, but if you've got it attached firmly to your page, it won't. Stick that down on top of that. Trying to line that up with the page underneath, and burnish it down. I always like to run my ruler along the inside of the pocket when I've stuck it down, just to make sure that the glue hasn't oozed out and stuck my pocket where I didn't want it to be stuck. It seems to be okay. There doesn't seem to be any glue on the ruler, so there we go. Now this video is getting pretty long, so my plan is to stop the video here, and I'll do a bit of work in here, and then I'll come back. I'll probably cover all my pages, and I'll cover all the ones that I don't plan on putting anything under, and then in the next video we'll work on some other pieces to go in here. I'm going to put, I think I'll put an envelope or two in here that I'll attach to the page. I will do a CD pocket, you know, the old CD envelope. I'll do one of those as a flip up pocket, probably from the top. Yeah, I don't really know what else I've got planned for this. Oh well, I haven't got anything planned for it, but when I start doing some more interesting work other than just attaching papers to pages, I'll turn my video on and make another video for you. So it's taken me a while to do just these 2 pages, but well, hopefully from now on it will be a bit quicker. Okay, alright, thanks for being here. I appreciate the fact that you watch my videos. I love it when you subscribe, and I actually really enjoy reading comments. So if you've got anything to say, if there's anything that you think I should do in this album, or something that you think would particularly suit this orientation of album, because it's more of a landscape than a portrait. I'm more used to working in a portrait album, shaped album, but yeah, you know, it should be good. I think we'll get a lot of interesting things in here. Alright, no worries, enough waffle. Thank you for being here. I hope you can join me when I post my next video, and until then, just have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.